Y'all know what it is, man. We are live on the Fix Show, DTFradio.com. Shout out to our official sponsor, Lifted Tees is in.
Hello.
Shout out to Taz, she is here. We're waiting on our cast members to join in on today's episode. Today is such a big show for us. We didn't even book a second or third guest today. We usually do, but we didn't. We wanted to show this man who we gonna have on the show today the utmost respect and honor that we could possibly give him. The one and only cool DJ Red Alert will be on the Fix Show today. Oh man, my hair's gone up. You know what I'm saying? It's been
definitely an honor.
Been a long time since I've been wanting this gentleman on the show, man, and finally, he's gonna grace us with his presence. And boy, does that man have stories, man. I've heard a few, up close and personal, and I don't know what better person on this planet can we talk to about the music industry, about the hip hop culture. I don't know who else better to talk to, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're gonna have cool DJ Red Alert here on the show today is amazing. It is an honor. Not too many shows could say they have Red Alert on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm holding that one. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold that one. You feel me?
Yeah, we got that in the bag. That's it.
Right.
Setting the bar.
A lot of things are happening in the world today besides, people dealing with the pandemic. So much is going on, and I kind of want to stem a little bit away from it because, I just want to talk about something different for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need a break from, the current events. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody protesting. Shout out to everybody who's fighting this pandemic and dealing with the virus.
Right.
Shout out to everybody who's beat the virus. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to you.
Yes. Shout out to you. Thank you. Shout out to everybody who's fighting for justice out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a real world right now.
Again, I respect the movement. I respect what's happening. I am for the people. I'm with the people. Today I just want to focus on our guests. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to stem away from the current events today and just really focus on our guests today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Epidemic is on the way. Prez is on the way. Brega will not be here with us today. I will disclose that during the show, so the whole team could hear it. But yeah, man, lot of stuff going on. Some people forget that, yes, we are fighting for justice out there. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, we are dealing with a pandemic out there. But there are also other things happening within the world. There's people still without work. There's still people who are unemployed, who haven't gotten unemployment, who are having a hard time feeding their families, paying their bills, So, there's so much to talk about. And again, I just had to say that because there's so much going on besides what people see on the TV and in the media, on social media. So much going on. So much more than what people,
Hey, what's up, App?
In here. What's up, App?
What's going on?
I was gonna spin. I had it on, but then me and Taz started talking. So we want spinning for you today, man. So what we were talking about, man, was two things, man. Once Prez gets here, I'm gonna give you an update on Brega as to why he is not here today and why he's gonna be taking some time away from the show. And I also just think the Taz epidemic that
you can look at the bottom. There's a pink thing. There's a white bag on top of
Then
that's the lifted one punch.
Oh, okay. Epidemic. What I was saying is that I understand there's a lot of things going on in the world with fighting justice and fighting for justice and dealing with the pandemic, but today we're kind of gonna move away from current topics and really focus on our guest today. Our guest today is a very important figure in the hip hop culture, in the world of music and radio. Such a big inspiration to us all, a pioneer. He basically sits on the top of Mount Rushmore of the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna focus on our guest today, man. Cool DJ Red Alert will be in the building. So right now, man, we're gonna let Epidemic do his thing, bring you some new music for a little while. Sponsored by Lifted Tees.
Yes.
Lifted teas. Okay, so I got my tea. Epidemic, you got your tea? I got my tea right here, man.
Show your tea.
I got it a little frozen. You see it's a little frozen. You see the little.
Oh, it's extra cold. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So thank you for the care package. Epidemic, what's up? We can't hear you. Yep.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I got to refresh because I'm not even on the right microphone.
Yeah, you got to refresh, man. Man. All right. So while he refreshes, these are some of the things that we got to deal with the online streaming of the shows and not being physically in the studios. But we here. You feel me?
Yeah.
Let me check these messages real quick. Oh, damn, he is here.
On time. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, I think Red Alert is already here. Oh, okay. Oh, that you know what? We can't have him wait.
Nope.
We can't have him hit. Nah, hell no. We're not gonna do that. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, here we go. You know what I'm saying? We're here. Right.
Hello.
So, DTFradio.com, The Fix Show, Wednesday night, New York City. We have the one and only Cool DJ Red Alert in the building today, man. Wow.
Yes.
What's good, everybody? What's going on? How y'all?
We living.
How you doing, Uncle?
Coming on, man. We all trying to maintain this situation we're dealing with, but you know what? We show that how much strength we have and we continue on. Keep it going.
That's
right. Right. Exactly, man. We just waiting for our DJ to come in right now. But like I was saying, this is Taz. Taz is our official liquor sponsor of the show. She has her own liquor brand.
Hey.
Yeah, you do it.
So definitely gonna need an address so we can send you a nice care package with some bottles in there. You know what I'm saying?
And get a little
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Right. So I was telling Taz that ever since I got this show a couple years ago, you were one of the first people that I asked to be on the show, and due to scheduling and you having so much to do out there, it wasn't able to happen. But you're finally here. You're finally here on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy because this is so important for the platform. It's important for our viewers and listeners to know who you are if they don't know who you are, which is impossible to not know who you are. But just in case they don't, how much of a staple you are in the hip hop culture and music. You're up there, Mount Rushmore of the music industry.
Oh, wow! Thank you.
So we wanted to let our viewers know how important it is, and that's why we didn't even book another guest. We usually book other guests to be on the show, but today we was like, Red is gonna have all the time in the world on the show today, man. So
I
you're
can be with you all the way. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah,
You gonna hang
yeah,
with us all day.
definitely.
All right.
This is DJ Epidemic. He is our resident DJ.
What's up, Ep?
Cool DJ Red Alert.
I know you said epidemic. I'm gonna call him Ep.
All right. Okay.
Call him at.
Right.
You caught on quick.
With so much, if you don't mind, with so much going on in the world today, I understand the importance of a lot of topics that are going on out there today. But I kind of want to stem away a little bit from it and focus on other topics. You know,
Yes.
if you don't mind, just for our listeners and our viewers, you know, I really want to talk about how the climate of this DJ industry is changing because of all the situations that are happening in the world today. Not just the pandemic, not just the protests, not just, you know, a lot of businesses closing due to the pandemic, but the whole music industry, DJ culture is changing. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. You know, like, do you think it's changing for the better? Do you think it's changing for the worse? I mean, what's your thought on the culture change right now?
Well, honestly, I have mixed. I'm gonna tell you why I have mixed, because I know that we all have, not every one of us, but a good amount of us have took advantage of the technology. You know, being online, through social media,
Right.
and therefore to display and show your skills. However, there's some that may don't understand how to enhance it and don't abuse it.
Right.
And of course, some of them may not understand what I mean, but as time go by, if you see that you just don't jump on just to jump on, there's a reason to jump on, because you want to show your love, your talent, your passion.
Right.
Don't do it because it's a bandwagon thing.
Right.
Do it because you love what you're doing. You know, it's been a situation. I know you and I have spoken many a times where, a lot of people had over the years have became DJs, but don't know what it took before it was so easy to become a DJ. You know, I mean, I know it come different from my time coming up, because it's like you had to wait your turn until you're ready to be put on.
Right.
There's no waiting turns now. Everybody just get on.
Right.
But then again, still show your reason for being there instead of just to be on the bandwagon, because a lot of people may don't have what it takes, but they feel like because I got the music, I got the social media, I got whatever it is, okay, I'm well prepared, I'm well portioned. That's like saying a person getting on the basketball court, he think he shooting all threes all day. He think that's the way he play basketball. There's more to it.
Right.
Learn the structure. That's the only thing I'm saying. Right.
And I definitely know where you're coming from, because as far as me as an individual, before this whole pandemic really went into full throttle, and before I went to the hospital and I ended up getting the virus, I was doing lives like maybe 4 times a week, and then I was just like, you know what? I don't really need to do that 4 times a week. Let me focus on the things that I already have out there, like R&B Tuesdays, like this show, which is Tuesday and Wednesday. Let me focus on those brands, since those are the brands that, we've been working on getting out there, instead of starting something new and just to be out there, just to be heard. I said, let me just do this, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'll just stay off being on lives. You know what I'm saying?
Otherwise, what you had in mind, that instead of quote unquote hogging up the days, pick the days and have them have something to look forward to the next week. Right.
That's definitely something that I've been working on going forward from when I first started doing the lives, and it is working for me, better than I thought. And yes, I started maybe 1 or 2 new things. Like if I go on the live now, it's probably to practice some blends, you know, and I'll stay on for like 20 minutes, half an hour, practice some blends, and then get off it. But you know, I'm really there to support other people's lives because there's so many shows being put together on IG Live, on Facebook Live, on
Yes.
Twitch that you know that are really really good to be
Uh-huh.
honest. You know,
Now I respect, the established DJs that have been doing it. You know, I respect all of them. You know, salute to them. You know, but for the others, and I understand you want to be acknowledged and known, but if you're doing it just to be on the bandwagon, please, it makes some value of yourself why you're doing it instead of just to do it. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. And it's just like, you know, I had a conversation with a couple of people and I asked you some questions as well too about the live streaming. You know, I think because of the conversations that I've had with a lot of DJs, I think the DJs are doing the lives just to keep their brand and their names alive and just keep all the venues that are following them, the owners of these venues that are following them on
I respect that.
To show them that they're active. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like a small insurance policy to keeping your jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's another reason why people are doing it as well too, as far as the DJs go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Because if you stay off of social media and nobody sees you, it's kind of like, you know, is your brand dying out? Is your name dying out?
That old saying, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, for DJs that are not as established as you, as other DJs, big name DJs, you know, they do have a lot to lose, don't you think?
The ones who that's not established, yes, you have to brand yourself, you have to promote, you have to market yourself, but in order to become embraced by the audience that taking time viewing you as well as listening to you, make it worth it. Make yourself a value. Show what is it that you can bring to the table instead of just. That's why I say don't do it just to be on the bandwagon. Do you have show some talent of what is it the reason why you're a DJ?
Right.
Show some talent in the sense that like, oh, I like him, I like her, I like what they doing. Instead of you just jumping on, just throwing record to record and hollering on a mic and you smoking hookah and I'm just saying this, for example. No, and I'm not knocking nobody, but still show your reason why you're doing it as you're on. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I definitely understand what you're saying. Real quick, this is my co-host Prez, Uncle Red Alert. Right?
Yes.
Yo, salute, boss. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
My man, all the best.
Right. So we're talking about the DJ culture right now. And we're talking about the live streaming right now, so you can catch up, Prez. So Red, real quick, if you don't mind me asking, do you think that this digital phase of the DJ culture, as far as like streaming, you think is something that is just a phase in our careers right now, or do you think this is something that's gonna stay permanently going forward, even when the venues open up?
Well, let's face it. Remember when before the epidemic, I remember there was people that used to spend time mostly on like the Facebook.
Right.
And remember when they used to be DJing on there, they always had type in, I do not own the rights to this music, but they go ahead and portray it and DJ. Not knowing that it was going, and it must have been a few people that was doing it on IG as well, but the majority was on Facebook. Not knowing that it was going to be multiple after the epidemic. Now, are you going to still stick to the same thing when this died down, when things is back to normal, when the clubs is open up? Because now you have a responsibility to uphold what you have presented, and people may depend on that.
Right.
I'm proud to say, I know you remember this. Approximately 10 years, it's been 10 years ago, I used to have a Ustream show.
Right, you was telling me, yep.
And the Ustream show used to be called DJ Red Alert Global Radio. At that time, I had a Ustream show, DJ Scratch, the Beat Mizers. It's quite a few people, you know.
Right.
And it's funny because I remember when I first got involved with it, some people used to look at me like, okay, this is cool, but how you make money? They didn't see what I see.
Right.
It's the same way like when I first got on radio with no pay, I got on for exposure. That led me to start having gigs, start having studio work. By me doing for 2 years the Ustream, it led me to travel around the world because now it's not nationally but globally exposed everywhere with people viewing in.
Right.
Now, in today's time, you know as well as I know, it's a lot of elbowing now.
Right.
So now it's like, how many people that's practicing to get on the team is going to make it? That's where you got to bring your A game. You got to bring to the table your talent and your skills, because if you just doing it just to do it, and then here it is, nobody acknowledging you for future time they want to hire you. Meanwhile, the other ones that is already acknowledged, if you're going to do it, are you going to continue after this whole situation is over? Because now you put a stamp on it, it's up to you. Now, that's where I'm looking at.
Right. Now, before we move to another topic, Epidemic, you got a question for Cool DJ Red Alert about the live streaming and the culture of DJing right now as far as live streaming goes?
Come on, Ep.
Ep, you there? All right, you're probably gonna have to refresh your internet, man. Come back in.
Okay.
Prez, what's up, man? I know you're not a DJ. I know
What's up?
Artist, but as far as you know, the live streaming with the DJs, you have any questions as far as that topic goes for Cool DJ Red Alert?
I mean, for the most part, for me, I would deal, with DJs because of me having to work with my artists. So, and I know, like you just said, that the culture is changing now, where you have a responsibility to play for the people on these live streams, on these Ustreams. So, would you say it would be best or suggested for a manager to like even try to push to a DJ to play on their live streams, or to play a new artist on their like YouTubes, or I mean their IGs or anything?
You have to be in control of your own destiny once you get to do that set one, because we all know that once you get on social media, it's the biggest platform as it stands right now.
Right.
You gotta stay true to yourself and join along with different artists and managers that I know they want their exposure, they want, but if you feel that it fit your program according to what they bring into you,
right,
that's not gonna throw the audience off,
right,
then you would consider it.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. Like I of course, you all know I'm originally old school, so I remember in the past for years and years, a lot of different record companies, artists, managers, all used to come with music. I was taking time and judging everything. As I was taking time and judging everything, I was playing what I felt fit my program. I couldn't play just everything.
Right.
Because at the same token of time, it's a small platform compared to social media. But radio, everybody listening on radio, they expect to hear something new, but something good.
Right.
If I'm just playing just anything and it don't sound good, know what they're gonna do? So
right.
if you just gonna go ahead and just play anything without paying attention if it fit good for your program, what people gonna do? Go on to the next screen.
Right.
So you gotta take control of your own destiny. What is it that fits you for your show, for your program, for yourself?
Right. Appreciate that.
Right. Now we appreciate it. Taz, real quick, do you have a question as far as like, live streaming and DJs for Cool DJ Red Alert?
Would you say for legends like yourself and other DJs, is that a platform that you guys will continue to frequent, or you feel like it's better being on the ground, being in the clubs and the spots like that for you to continue to play your music?
Can you say that again, please? Take your time.
Sure.
Speak up a little bit.
What would you prefer? Do you prefer the streaming, like the new technology, the new way of doing things, or would you still prefer being on the ground level and playing? And I mean, I obviously know the answer to this question, but I just want to hear it from somebody.
Well, and it's good that you asked these questions because you got your viewers that's listening to the show to hear what I have to say. So I respect that.
Thank you.
No, I do embrace technology. Like I said, 10 years ago, I had a Ustream show.
Right.
Because I had a Ustream show, I was able to play. I played 3 days a week. I broke it down. On Tuesdays, I was playing old school hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays, I was playing more of the current updated music. On Thursdays, I was playing the classics, R&B, disco, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I programmed and promoted to my audience to know what speech that was, and it all chimed in.
Got you.
You can do the same thing online. I myself, honestly, I have not done not one mix, not one show on IG since all this has been taking place. I'm thankful that I still do the radio. I just got off about half an hour ago on WBLS. So that's a blessing. I still have that going. But I get the platform for the people that get their shot.
Right.
And then I know that there's some difficulties at times on social media that you can't go flow. You got a good flow going on, then you got cut off. Or you get forgot what you call where they feel that you're abusing it. They do certain things and such. So I try to stay away from all that.
Yeah.
Right. Prez, can you mute your mic for a second because of the background noise, please? Thank you. So I definitely get it, and we definitely understand where you're coming from. Okay, Epidemic is here. You good?
Check. You hear me now?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Browsers.
Okay. So, really quick, man. I'm gonna say Uncle. Yeah, I think I've known him long enough to call him Uncle. You know what I'm saying?
Or y'all can call me Uncle. I don't mind.
Right, Uncle Red, man. Epidemic. We're talking about live streaming. The DJ culture changing a little bit. You have any questions for Uncle Cool DJ Red Alert?
No, I really wanted to piggyback off what you were saying, like with the live stream and the Ustream and stuff like that, because like when I first started, I wanted to be on Hot 97. I wanted to be on one of the major FM radio stations in New York. But at that point in time, when I first started DJing, I didn't know how to knock on that door. So what I did, I built my own platform. I actually used which was a competition to Ustream. I used live stream, and I built my radio station off that platform, and I started doing that. And then now with everything that's going on, moving forward to now with Instagram, it fits that same platform that I was doing, and I was able to just get right back into doing it, but on Instagram, but by playing by the rules of Instagram, like doing quick mixes and stuff like that. So I feel it pushes the culture forward and brings to like a lot of DJs that we didn't know of, because like what I've noticed while going on IG Live, I've seen DJs jump in that I look up to, like Kid Capri on Sunday popped into my live and was listening for a good 30 minutes. DJ Chubby Chub. I've seen enough jump in there. I've seen some big DJs that, when I first started, that's who I aspired to be. So I was like, cool. So I know it does something for the culture. It expands the culture so that there's new guys here in the game that's been working, but the people are taking notice, and then our fans that was following us before is starting to see our growth. We're able to show our growth now, and it gives us a chance to show our growth and how we branded ourselves from when we first started to where we're at now.
Respect on that. And that's the whole idea, because it's part of your business. Let me explain something to all y'all. Whatever field you're in, it don't have to be just DJing, just any other field that you get involved with. Anything you start doing and you receiving from it as quote unquote money, you have start to establish a business. Now, in order to uphold your business, you have to learn how to promote yourself, how to market yourself, how to brand yourself. You have to see what does it take, because in today's time, there's so many DJs. You want to see what is it about you that can stand out on your own.
Right.
Of course, it's competition, it's competitive, but not. It's sometimes it's not trying to compete about the people who's around you. It's like competing within yourself. Can you become better than you already been? In order for people to take time to acknowledge and take trust in you, believe in you, and start following you.
Right.
And that's the most important thing.
Right. And just to piggyback off what Uncle Red just said, I've been around Uncle Red enough to know that, you know, what he's saying is absolutely true. As a DJ, you know, you gotta find your niche. As a DJ, you gotta find your niche, and you gotta exploit that and promote that niche that people love about you. You know what I'm saying? Every DJ is different. You know what I'm saying? Every DJ is not going to be the best on the mic. Every DJ is not going to be the best at scratching. Every DJ is not going to be the best at blending. Right. I mean, you know, you got to exploit what you are the best in and what you are great at. And while you're exploiting that, you have to, you know, make it your business to get better at in the other parts of that culture. You understand what I'm saying? But
and it's true that you say that, because I come from the first generation, where it was all so skillful, how well you can scratch, how much you can cut up, how you can, you know, it's like, you know, where they chord loud later on turntablism, but we didn't chord that, you know, it's just like straight up hip hop DJing. I come from that. I was not capable to do what my peers was doing. Respect to my cousin, the original DJ, Jazz DJ. Respect to Theodore. Respect to Flash. Respect to it's a host of them. But what I learned to do is what I learned in the beginning: how to mix, how to blend, how to pick and choose the right selection of music that come right behind another. And I built that forte for myself to let people acknowledge what I can bring to the table, you know, for them to enjoy.
Right. I definitely understand that. And you know, moving forward to a different part of the culture and a big part of your career, you were basically the pioneer of mixtapes. You were the first to put a mix on a tape. Am I right?
Honestly, I can't take that credit. I honestly can't take that credit, because what I was doing when I got down with the Almighty Universal Zulu Nation, right, I was known for, even before that, I was taping myself, but a lot of other DJs was taping themselves. And what I was doing, I was taking my big old box, come out in the street, and let everybody hear my tape.
Right.
And years later, then I got down, you know, after DJing, then I got down with Zulu Nation. So I was always taping all the parties, all the jams as we call it, you know. And what I was doing, because that's up in the Bronx, I'm from Harlem. So after I spent time taping all the parties, and at that time, you know, because being on the band body, it was an army of us. So imagine when it came to the end of the night, you ain't going to see but so much. If anything, it was a slow night. Everybody having White Castle. What I was doing, taping, I would come home, I had hooked up like 2 different tape decks and start making copies. Before you know it, I was going around to all the spots in Harlem where, you know, they was doing their activities, they're, you know, making their money in their own way. And I say, yo, I got the latest tapes. I'm selling tapes. And then by the time when I got on radio later on, then everybody wanted the tape on the radio. Before you know it, people taking me off the radio. No, but for people in the past, I was making tapes. Flash was making tapes. You know, a lot of the pioneers were making tapes. You know, and I just learned to extend it by doing my little hustle and get into radio.
Right. So my original question was, the reason why I said you was one of the pioneers, because I you know, knowing your history, but also reading a lot about your history as well. A lot of people consider you the pioneer of mixtapes. It's out there.
Well, I would say I'm not by myself. I'm in that equation.
Right.
I put it like that, you know.
Right. So because of the mixtapes evolving, going on to mix CD, going on to people doing mixes on SoundCloud and Mixcloud, what's your thoughts on the actual word playlist? How everything switched over to going on to like virtual playlists now. You got Spotify, you got Apple playlists.
Yeah.
DJs, doing their mixes for those big platforms. How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, I understand for the fact that when technology came in, before everything was like on quote unquote the cassettes.
Right.
So you was able to sell cassettes, and then here come the CDs. Right. Now here it is now that everything started being online. So now everything started being online. Everybody started posting up on social media or quote unquote Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. Before you know it, everybody got mixes on YouTube.
Right.
You know? So now what they did, they made a platform for DJs to have a SoundCloud, Mixcloud. I myself have a Mixcloud account. One time there was a thing called Mixcrate. And probably there's several others. As well you're saying about the Spotify. So you still, even though you're not making $1 off of what you were selling between cassettes and CDs, but you're still keeping your name out there to be hired by many others who ever listen to your work.
Would you still consider those playlists mixtapes, or would you just
yeah mixtape to another level?
Right.
Mixtape to another level. Hey, listen here. When we was at home, either it was the rotary or it was the push button phones. Right. Outside was the pay to the phones in the booth, right? What we in today? Technology with the phone.
Right.
So it's still a phone. It just move up to the next level.
Right.
The same thing. So what we were doing cassette and CD, we just move up to the next level. Now we have it online.
Okay. So sticking to the topic, you got any questions as far as playlists go and digital mixes out there, Epidemic?
The playlists, I'm not into playlists. Even though I learned that once I got involved with Mixcloud, that would take time, and I respect Mixcloud. They're very professional from what I see. When they detect everything that you got in your mix, they automatically print out what is on there. So they lay as it's registered.
Great feature.
Sometimes there's something they don't recognize, they keep it blank. But for others, they go ahead and put it out. So they want the audience to see what is it I'm playing in the mix. And I respect that.
Right. Epidemic, you got any questions as far as playlist goes and digital mixtapes out there, online mixtapes?
Not necessarily, because he really said his opinion and how he feel about it. But as for me myself, I
mean,
people,
you got.
Red, you breaking up. You breaking up a little bit.
I think he refreshed.
Yeah, he had to refresh.
No, it's all good. What's this about the chats? I'm about to go on the chats to see what's that. People asking questions?
There's a couple.
She said that people can ask questions at the bottom.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I'm on my iPad.
Yeah.
What's up, Unc? You good?
All day, hey, listen here. This we gotta go through it, but we here.
That's the upgrade of technology, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
So you
hey,
gotta do.
we come a long way instead of hollering out the window.
Right. Epidemic, going back to you, man.
Yeah, like I was saying before, like, Trace already asked you about how you feel about the playlist and stuff, and like, the difference is like I'm really heavy into like that side of things, like digital stuff right now, because like, that's really like the era that I came up in, and like
Okay.
when I first learned to DJ, I learned to DJ on a controller, but when I got on to getting my hands onto some turntables and stuff, then I went back to basics and did that. So it's like I could bridge the gap between doing analog, spinning analog or digital. So it's like, to me, I agree with what you're saying. I was one of those DJs starting out when I was so against a lot of the digital platforms for these things, and I was trying to figure out how can I bring that original flavor and that essence of being a DJ into the digital world, because that's what my goal was as being a DJ, and then being able to bring a vibe and put a smile on somebody's face or change their mood. And then for me, for digital platforms now, what that does for me is that people hit me up and say, "Yo, I listen to all your mixes to get me through my day." So that's when I started to understand more of the digital platform, and people really having my mixes and having access to me on demand, even though they don't can't physically touch me or physically be there, but they still have access to my mixes to get that same vibe that I want to put out, even though I could put it out live, but they can still get that same feeling digitally if I'm not there, if they really need it.
Yeah, because the name of the game at the end of the day, you want to be heard, you want to be acknowledged. You want them to know what is it that you providing for them to enjoy, and that's what's very important, So I mean, carry on. That means for everybody, for whatever you do.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And I gotta say this, Uncle Red, with all the conversations we've had in the past, I've learned so much from you,
About the culture,
about
about uh, about. Sorry, I was just trying to see the comments, but it's crazy.
Yeah,
um
you double up on us.
right. So as far as all the conversations we had, I've been able to learn so much, from you, that as far as like Epidemic goes, he's a mixtape DJ. He does a lot of stuff online. I'm really not up on the mixtapes. I really don't do a lot of stuff online. So as far as me being a DJ, I think it's a great opportunity for me to be able to feed him opportunities that I would normally, not take or say no to. You understand what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
able to take those opportunities and say, why don't you give it to a good friend of mine who does mixtapes? He hosts, he does, that type of platform. So we kind of like complement each other when it comes to, what is it that we do as far as DJs go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I respect that same thing I said. Once this thing got into a craze about everybody is mixing on IG as well as Facebook, I didn't get involved with it. But I will support the people who I watch. It's
right,
just that I wasn't a part of that. But if what you guys see will fit you, what you feel comfortable with.
right. Now,
That's what it is.
Now, before I shut my laptop off, if you guys are able to see the comments on a MacBook, on a computer, let me know what the questions are.
Nah, I don't see no comments.
Yeah,
One
I
of
know
the
there was one question. One question was a young lady on the computer before I shut it off. She asked,
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it now.
yeah, she asked, why is it that DJs get muted on Facebook, on social media, and how do you feel about that?
Well, of course, many of the times that the audience don't understand that here it is that it's same thing with radio. Every time when a person hear an artist, music is on the radio or is on television as well as even online, that's how they get paid. They get paid as a percentage through, publishing, through writer's credit and everything. It's good that they being entertained by DJs playing these artists' music, but the artists don't get paid for it.
right.
So here it is. If you're not having it yourself registered through, the system that these artists can, and not only that, I'll get to this in a minute. If you're not being registered in order for the artists to make money off of you playing their music, they're gonna cut you off. What make it even worse, and I respect because it's like getting their hustle on. But when the Cash App came in place, now when the Cash App came in place for the people who are DJs, let's face it, and I respect where you are coming from. There are DJs that they was making their living off of doing gigs, parties, events, whatever it is. All that come to a halt with this epidemic. So now what it is, they go ahead and put their Cash App. Now here it is, the system, as I would call it, they go look at it like, oh, okay, you making money through your Cash App, whoever tipping you, because you're not making them pay. It's like whoever getting tipped. Meanwhile, my artist, my group, if I'm a writer, if I'm a producer, I'm not getting paid for this. Oh, I got to report this. As a report, it go right to social media. Before you know it, they're going to cut you off. Same thing, like I said in the beginning of Facebook. What they used to say, I do not own the rights to this music.
Right.
So that's what it is. So for the viewers, I understand you asking that question, but that's the reason why they get cut off.
Is there a way around that for DJs? Is there
D Nice did something clever for what I learned. He came across sponsors for every time he go ahead and he play somebody's music, he being sponsored by somebody. The sponsors will cover him on paying whatever being played.
But how does that work? How could that work for someone like myself or Epidemic or upcoming DJs who don't have a platform like himself or those big numbers like himself and don't have access to sponsors like himself? What
they was allowing DJs to do, you play a small snippet of the song.
Right.
But when you go ahead and give a good amount to the full body of the song, now they go lean on you because we give you a little lean already by giving a little snippet of the song, but we're not going to allow you to play the whole thing.
Right.
It's like saying a quick mix DJ.
Right.
How many of us that go in and out on a record so fast? They have to do it like that on IG and Facebook, where you don't get cut off.
Right.
You may have to go into what we all call the hook of the song, then jump to the next thing.
Right.
But then this is where the skills come in. It's like the timing, the right selection, and segueing from one record to another, where you're keeping a flow, everybody enjoying it.
Right. I get it. I'm gonna take that into consideration. For me, there's songs that I like so much, especially when I do R&B Tuesdays. I let them rock out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a Jodeci song, I'm gonna let that play. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But then again, to the people who are paying attention to the system, saying that okay, you're overdoing it, and it cut you short.
And I see that they kind of do that differently with different artists, different songs. Like I was playing Marvin Gaye, like I was doing a blend with Marvin Gaye the other day, and they cut me off like 4 times in like 5 minutes. They heard that Marvin Gaye vocal and they was like, "Oh no, we shutting him down." Like, hold on,
There's different publishing companies. There's different companies that handle the artists, the songwriters, the producers, as well the publishing. They feel like that's enough.
Some companies are stricter. What you're saying, right?
Very much.
Right.
Not to cut you short, nephew, but just like here it was, it took a long while, even before his passing. But Prince was not allowing none of his music online.
I heard.
He was not allowing none of his music because he felt my music online, they getting it for free. No. It's like they taking my music and I work hard for making it.
Right.
After his death, now everything is let go. And there's why still certain artists that don't allow nothing online.
Right. I get Epidemic. You have a question for Red Alert?
You said something about like the quick mix DJs. So just basically saying like DJs out there just really have to learn how to juggle through records and really know how to hit their cue points, and they actually have to know their music to be able to survive on Instagram.
Can you say that one more time, please?
I'm saying you said the quick mix DJ. So basically DJs have to learn how to juggle through their records as if they're playing dancehall music or reggae music to really be able
Right.
to get through it. That's
Right.
difficult. That's difficult for certain DJs. You really
Well,
have to know your music and your points.
that's the challenge. I mean, as I rock along with Trace, I remember we rock along together at Tony Touch event, and you know, we both had to learn how to do the right time and go in and out something real quick. Boom, boom, boom. You know, as you know, just challenge yourself to see you get it down pat. You know, it's all practice.
Yeah, I've been practicing. I think the longest I've been on IG was like 50 minutes without getting kicked off.
I hear that.
So I'll be practicing and like, all right, cool. I want to get this record in. Oh, and what I've also learned is that the newer records that they drop, you could get away playing them a little bit longer than the records that's been out for a little while. Because
because they really trying to take care and cover the most established artists of the past, that they have a catalog of all their stuff, as opposed to newer artists that don't have their stuff situated. Some may have, but some may not, and just getting it played. Meanwhile, these established artists in all different genres of music, they got everything laid out to cover and protect their product.
Yeah.
Right. And just to chime in on that, Uncle, if you don't mind, I'm gonna tell you something, Epidemic. I might have told you this, but I'm gonna say this for the listeners and for our cast members as well too. I had asked Clark Kent a certain question years ago, and one of the biggest advice that he was able to ever give me is learn your music, learn your songs, learn how to cut in songs in different ways. You could take one song and be able to cut it in different ways, cut it out different ways. It's just a lot of DJs tend to want to do the same thing another DJ do, and they're not creative with their transitions or where their cutouts, their cut-ins. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta learn. You gotta learn. You know, teach your crowd. Teach yourself what part of the song the crowd likes more than the other. And if you know that's the part of the song that get people hyped, cut that part in, let the hook go, keep on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta learn your library, learn your music. That's one of the biggest advice that Clark Kent has ever gave me. You know what
and
I'm saying?
it's so true. It's so true, because you want to keep the energy flowing. You know,
Right.
you gotta understand and learn your music, and like I say, selection. Which song that is it that able to accommodate behind the song you just finished playing, that it keep the the attention span going. That's what it is.
Right. Prez, what's up, man? You got a question for Cool DJ Red Alert?
For me, it was more like, I know, as OGs, and I know you guys, you still stay working all the time. So what's the process like these days? Do you guys, I mean, are you looking to like take under DJs up under you to put on, or is it more or less just still building and
I can't fully hear the whole thing because you're breaking up.
All right, so would you, for your career still, is it more or less just staying focused on yourself, or are you looking to put up under DJs up under you and bring younger DJs on as a platform that you have?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the God's truth. For a long period of time, a lot of different DJs always ask me to bring them up under me. I'm a people person, and I mean that's how I build a relationship with Trace as well as many other DJs. Now they ask that question, and I say no. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's hard to accept everybody at one time. What I do, I will always take time to talk to them, advise them, show them. I don't mind sharing that amongst all, but here it is. I'm not looking upon, if I take two people over here, the other three over here, like, oh, why didn't you put me on?
Right.
Oh, I'm your man. Oh, all right. So what I do, I keep it even. I don't put nobody on, but I still share my experience of what I have been doing to them.
One more question to piggyback off that, if you didn't mind. What about like these other DJs that start like a team, like the unions, or like what about that? Would you ever, or had that ever been a thought to you to start like a DJ Red Alert team, like a DJ team?
It almost like the same thing because now
Okay.
here it is, and I seen this from experience. As you know, Flex got me involved with him under quote unquote digital, but Flex know that I basically like to do things on my own, but I respect where you're coming from because one thing I could say, Flex always look out for Chuck and I because he always look at us as the one that opened the door for him. So in return, he like to have us to be part of what he's doing, but he know that we still do ourselves.
Right.
When I look upon everybody having a team, it's good, but I see that there's a lot of bumping, elbowing, bruising going on because how close they're trying to get to the main man.
Right.
I don't need that nonsense.
I see. That
And
makes sense.
the words of my man Danny Glover in the movie, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Right.
Nah, that I definitely.
Thank you. Yeah.
I definitely get. I definitely get why Prez asked that question, and I definitely understand where you coming from, Red. I appreciate you answering that question for him. Taz, you have a question for?
He stole my question.
So just so you can generate another question, I really been wanting to ask you this question, in front of the cast, in front of our viewers and listeners. I talk about this a lot with people in the music industry because it's something that you did for me that has helped my DJ career get to where it's at right now. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but I think our first real conversation, yeah, we was always, we was around each other frequently or whatever the case is, but the first time that I had a conversation with you was at the Old School Jam when we had a little VIP in the schoolyard, and I sat down next to you. I don't know if you remember this, but I asked you. I said, I just got one question for you, cool DJ Red Alert. And you said, go ahead. And I asked you. I said, what can I do to have the longevity that you have in this music industry? And I don't know if you remember. I could say what your answer was, but I want to see if you remember. Your answer was just one word, and that one word is like, it just helped my whole career out. Like literally. I don't remember.
Did I say integrity?
No.
Because I know I use that a lot.
Yeah, you said love.
Love. This is true. That's another word I use.
And when I asked you why, you said it's because you said the same thing I'm doing with you now, where I get to sit down and show you love and answer your questions, is the same thing that you could do for somebody else who's in your position. Always show people love. That's what you told me.
Yes.
So,
great advice.
At the time, I was a little hard-headed. I was real stubborn. I was just on some rah-rah stuff.
We all been through that.
Right. And ever since you told me that, it was just like, I started to gain a following. I started to, get people coming out to see me spin. And it was something that I always held on to, and I just wanted, my cast members and the listeners to understand how important and how vital that was to my career that you said that to me.
I appreciate you carry that on, man. And I appreciate what I gave you. You made it worth. So I appreciate it.
For me, I'll tell you the truth, and I'll say this in front of my family right here. I never cared so much about me putting out mixtapes or being on a website or having the best, business cards or whatever the case was. My main thing coming into this DJ culture was to have longevity, to be able to do it as long as I possibly can, whether it was in front of 20 people or 6,000 people or 100,000 people. I just wanted to be able to do it as long as possible. And at the time that I asked you that question, I had a 9 to 5, and last 5 years, I've been able to make this a career where I'm not working a 9 to 5. So a lot of things that you told me, you know, have been able to help me. And you know, even when you used to come to Slate and you know, used to come to Slate on a Monday,
Right.
every time I used to see you, I would always ask you an important question, and you always showed me that love and gave me that respect to answer that question. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome, man. You're welcome.
A lot, man, for real.
You're welcome. Not a problem, man. Because listen here, before I finally got into the picture, I was being taught. Where I know in the very beginning, none of them knew who I was, but they used to always come and see me watch. Let me tell you something. Now, when I first started getting involved with this, I was 19 years old. I'm sneaking into the clubs downtown, wearing my rubber clothes, trying to look older. Being in front. At that time, I come with my friends. Now, you know, 19, you come in, you know, they was all about going there, partying, getting drinks, being with the girls. Me, I was nothing but like a nerd going in, getting that one little spot and watch the DJ all day.
Right.
It got so much of a norm like that where I was thankful on my behalf because security and everybody was observing all of us coming in. They knew we was young and they gave us a chance. But then some of my friends would become knuckleheads and getting thrown out. Now, usually, they'll throw everybody that came in should get thrown out. But they used to always say, not him, because they always saw what I was doing. So I stand there. And they used to always tease me, say, you want to drink? I say, nah, but I should get free soda all the time. But I was watching the DJ.
Right.
And so what I did when I came home, I start, you know how you get in your little family stereo set? And I was putting the needle, my ear to the needle, and I was listening to the grooves. Because I always saw when the DJ was in the club, he had headphones on. I said, well, what they listening to? So I took it upon myself. I said, oh, this is what it is. Until I finally saved up my money and I got my set. What I was thankful for, because when I was in school, I took up music. So I learned how to read music, bar for bar. So now I learned how to mix and blend according to what by reading music. How to go by 4 bars, 8, 16, therefore. Remember how to go segue, you know? Meanwhile, as I'm getting more and more into it, other people see what I'm doing, they taking time advising me, and I'm listening. And that's what I did, take time to listen. They didn't have to spend time with me, but they took time to be with me. And when I got down with Bambaataa, I call Bambaataa the father of music in my eyes because what he had did, and I used to do this all the time. I used to come before everybody when it first started. Bam used to set the night off by playing a selection of all different music. And I used to take, like I said, I take all the party. But I was learning the different sets of music. And he showed me how to be open-minded to try all different type of music, which led me to go ahead and follow the same suit. So by people taking time talking to me and me taking time viewing what him and many others was doing, made me learn to become where I'm at.
Nah, man, it shows, man. Every time I've been around you, you have showed nothing but love to me and people around us. And I could say you're one of the most humblest people that I've met in this
Respect.
world, man, for real.
Respect.
For real.
Respect.
So moving forward to the current climate, you know, in the DJ industry, there's a lot of young DJs out there that I have conversations with that kind of get a little discouraged because they hear these conversations in on social media or on the internet on YouTube about you're not being a real DJ because you never touched turntables.
No,
So how would you give advice to a younger DJ who's on the come up, who's never really touched turntables or didn't have the means to own turntables and are DJing on controllers or on other, you know, on other DJ type gear?
Well, that's the same thing. Like there's a lot of young producers that never knew how to play an instrument.
Right.
All they know they see in front of them is a drum machine and a keyboard, and they laying down because nobody took time to show them and teach them what it takes.
Right.
So, unless you have somebody who is around you to guide you, okay, remember, there's a lot of them in the generation that ain't grow up through turntables. A lot of them that didn't grow up through CDJs. It's what's in front of them. I mean, we in 2020, right?
Yep.
Year 2000, 2020. Here it is. How many different things have changed up?
Whew.
They only live, now they 20 years old from 2000. They're only going to go according to see what's in front of them.
Yeah.
Unless somebody going to take time to say, you want to become a DJ, let me show you where you can start from and all different angles. If you did not have nobody that show and lead you, then you going to go according to what's in front of you and start off with.
Right, but I gotta say this from experience, and like I said, I'm not gonna say no names, but there's a lot of DJs out there, that are big names that wouldn't even give somebody a chance to teach them how to do anything or give them an opportunity to be
Very true.
the wing or whatever the case is,
Very true.
What type of advice would you give a younger DJ who's in that type of position that has tried to be mentored by somebody, but it doesn't work out for them?
Well, if you really have interest and hunger to go forth, try to go to certain events where they have people displaying their self DJ. Watch, learn by watching, see what they're doing. Even if you were asking for help or asking for advice, it's just like saying you can take time and teach yourself because nobody told me how to DJ. I went by watching. They can go by watching. Stop trying to be, and I'm not disrespecting, but stop making yourself as a handicap and looking for somebody to help you. Take it upon yourself, step up, watch, and learn how to pick it from there.
Right.
How many were so daring that nobody taught them how to drive, but they learned how to get behind that steering wheel and learn how to drive on their own?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Because they was destined to learn how to drive.
Right.
So instead of you waiting somebody, if you find that you can come across a set, it's destined to learn what's the situation. Learn every single aspect of the turntable and the mixer along with the headphones.
Right. Okay. I appreciate that. Moving forward to Epidemic, you have another question for Cool DJ Red Alert?
Yeah, I'm actually just listening to what he's saying and taking notes, and actually reflecting on how I came into the game and everything like that. Because like a lot of the stuff he's saying is like, I could really relate to it because when I first started DJing, I had no DJs around me, but I started putting together mixtapes and playlists in high school. Before I touched the set, but I always wanted to touch the set, but nobody would let me touch their set or show me the ins and outs. So it took for me going to everything really going digital for me to actually learn and understand that I did have the concept of what was going on. Because even when I was doing my mixtape before I touched the set, before I was able to DJ and touch the set and really learn the techniques, I was already lining up my records by BPMs and had a flow to my mixtape with my warm-up tracks, my high point, and then my closing out track. So it's like, I just relate to everything that's going on. The conversation is really dope, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, respect on that, man.
Right. Okay, Taz, you got a question for Cool DJ Red Alert?
Oh man, I'm doing the same thing. Like you're really teaching. I mean, even though I'm not a DJ, but I understand everything that you're saying.
But do you enjoy watching people DJ?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now it's like behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you get to hear what is it that take for us to become who we are and what we love doing.
Right.
Because if we having a passion displaying what we doing, we passing it on for you to enjoy listening or what you see.
Right.
When did you first? Okay, so now I do have a question. When did you first discover that your purpose was to be that dope DJ that you are now?
Well, I mean, I can go in so many different ways. How I caught the bug in the beginning, growing up under my grandparents, my brother and my sister and I, I'm the baby. So my brother inspired me of two different things: basketball and music. My brother is one of the first members under Mr. Homebell Record that you always hear about, the world famous Uptown Record Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always following him, and I was always up in the closet pulling out one of his basketballs, learning to play.
Right.
If not that, I was always in his record collection. He had mad records. And at that time, he was bringing in all different types of, he was bringing in R&B, soul, rock, Latin, Caribbean, because, you know, my background from Antigua, West Indies. So we had Caribbean music. So, you know, I was listening to a little bit of everything. Now, here it is, years later, as I see that this DJing thing come in place, I went to DeWitt Clinton High School up in the Bronx. A couple of train stops down was where there was a high school, Walton High School. Next to the Walton High School was Bronx Community College.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't supposed to be in there, but we went hanging in there, and we wound up being in the cafeteria. As we're in the cafeteria, I seen somebody with this setup. I thought, yo, what is this? And that's the first time I got to see somebody with turntables and a mixer with a whole bunch of records and playing. And once again, just like I said, I was going down to the clubs, I was doing the same thing there. I'm just keep staring and I'm listening to the music, and I can identify some of the old records you're playing because remind me of me pulling the records out from my brother.
Right.
So now, years later, about a year later, he would lead me to go downtown. And then after being downtown, then I started learning about Kool Herc. I started going to Kool Herc parties. Mm-hmm. So that's where I caught the bug from the cafeteria. Well, caught the bug from my brother's records to the cafeteria to downtown to Kool Herc to me saying I want to be a part of it.
Wow, man. That's
you just followed your heart. You followed the love and the passion.
That's a great story, man, for real.
And also it led me, like I said, when I was in school, I took time studying music.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, and I learned how to read music.
See, as much as I've been around you, I've never heard that story about what made you start. You know, like
she had a good question. Good question.
Right. That was a very good question. I gotta ask you this now as a radio host. I gotta ask you this. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
With the platform Versus out there with Timbaland and Swiss Beats, right? Let me just ask you this: if there was a Versus for DJs, who would you want to see go up against each other on a Versus? DJ wise, name 2 DJs you would like to see go head to head in front of Timbaland and Swiss Beats.
You know what? That's a damn good question, but that's something that honestly, I don't have no interest of. I never had no interest of.
You don't even need to.
Okay. Well, can I tell you what I've read on social media?
All right.
Okay, so what I've read on social media as far as the DJs go, if there was ever a Versus, people would love to see Flex and Clue go at it. That's like the biggest one on social media.
Okay.
Flex, that's what I see. And the other one I saw was I think it was Self versus Camelo was the other one that I read. If I'm correct.
Sound more like a Hot and Power thing.
Hot 97 thing.
Right. But I think that's a big topic of conversation now because of, you know, how Timbaland and Swiss Beats are changing the culture right now for music. You know, like they're really doing a lot for the culture right now as far as
this remind me of when you mentioned like Clue is on Power, Flex is on Hot, Carmelo is on Hot, and Self was on. It sounded like the era when I was on Kiss FM with Chuck against Mr. Magic and Marley.
Mm.
The Radio Wars. You know?
Right.
And you know what? That's something that I would definitely mention that I did not get on to get into a war with. It was more like respect to Mr. Magic, who opened the door for all of us to be on radio.
Right.
He's the one that stirred that up because he was looking at us as competition when we got on.
Mm.
You know, Magic started before all of us and then brought Marley on. And then by the next year, I got on, and then Chuck after that.
Right.
So he looked at us as competition. So he stirred that up. So
Right.
that's why everybody was looking at the competition.
Right. I mean, if you remember, because you were at the first, you was at the first Global Spin Expo, which I was a part of, which became the DJ Con. So the Global Spin Awards became DJ Con, if I'm correct about that, because I was.
Yes.
So if you were there, I think it was like near the Civic Center or whatever the case was, the Global Spin Expo, the first one. That battle actually did happen, but I don't think too many people noticed that it happened.
And which battle was that?
It was Power 105. They had all their DJs DJing, and then they had all the heavy hitters in the heavy hitter booth go, like DJing. And both sides, even though they were on different opposite sides of the room, they were both going head to head with each other. I don't know if you remember that, but I think I got footage of that.
I do remember that.
Right.
I do remember that.
But I don't think people considered it a battle, but it kind of felt like it because you had that crowd over there, and then you had the crowd at the heavy hitters. So it was just like people were like, wondering where to go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what that sounds like? I don't know if you ever heard about this in the early days of the West Indian Parade on Eastern Parkway, but long time ago when all the Jamaicans or whoever is a Caribbean had the sound systems out on the block, and that's when they was competing against each other.
Sound clash.
As far as the sound, as well as the selection of music.
Right.
So I know competition always been around.
Right.
So that's what it sounded like to me. What you just saying.
Yeah. Nah, that definitely kind of was it at the time. I just wanted to get your opinion on who.
Yeah, I never really got into that. I'm sorry. I just never got into it.
Is it more because you're really like so neutral with everybody, or is it because you really don't care about the battle?
A little of both.
Okay.
A little of both.
I respect that.
I mean, yeah, I'm neutral with everybody. I don't side with nobody. And the battles. I think I got mad. I got fed up with the battles, and I know it's different from the DJing aspect compared to the MCing aspect. But when I started seeing how ugly it got in the rap game on the battles, where they never kept it on the microphone and took it other different where it can draw trouble and problems.
Right.
That turned me away from battles.
Right. I get it. I understand.
And mind you, now remember, I come from being the host of the DMC competition. I did that for like a dozen years, being the main host of the World's Final.
Right.
And it was an honor to see DJs from all around the world. But when I started seeing later on how some of them were starting to become a little disrespectful to each other, the different, I guess it's the age mindset. The mentality is different where, they feel they want to. The same thing like we see in sports. Remember, it used to be a team. It used to be being sportsmen on each other. Now everybody want to fight on the basketball court or fight on the field. And it's like, they're taking it out from where they're supposed to be.
Right.
So that's why I kind of stay away from the battle stuff.
Right. No, I definitely get it, and I'm not so much on the battling thing either. But, for me, it's like when you hear things so much, it's like you just kind of want to see it happen just to get the result of what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like I know you remember like 3 years ago, everybody wanted him and his Kid Capri that was storming up this thing between him and Flex, He the one that stirred that up, but he ain't explained why he stirred that up. I know what it is, but he didn't explain. And when he had everybody cheering on for it to happen, you know, but it never happened. But he never expressed why he put it in that order.
Man.
Because it was more personal instead of being competitive as far as the skills.
Right. I get it. I definitely understand. Prez, what's up, man? You got a question for Cool DJ Red Alert?
Yeah, man. It was a couple of things. I just want to touch on this one thing that he had mentioned earlier about playing ball and being with your brother and all that. I know you're not playing. I mean, obviously you didn't get into ball, but did you still follow? Did you have a favorite team? Did you go to the games? I mean, were you still into any basketball life?
I got heavy into ball. That was my first love. I was playing organized. I was playing from the biddies on up. And I played high school ball for Dewitt Clinton. And then I got a scholarship. I did a year and a half at Hampton, you know. Okay. So I never took it any further, no. But, you know, yes, he inspired me because, you know, at that time, and I didn't realize until I got much older how impactful my brother was being under Mr. Rucker along playing against the pros that used to play in the tournament during the summertime. And where I grew up at in Harlem, I was not far. I grew up right by where the Rucker Park is at. Right. Have you ever been up there?
Of course. Yeah, of course. We've been to a couple of those games. Yeah.
Now, do you see that there's an old building that's closed down that's right next to the park? It's right on the side.
Okay, yeah.
You know, you got the park, you got the rest of the park for the playgrounds for the kids and everyone one side, but on the other side is a building right there.
It's a whole different building, yeah.
That was a school. The school, that school was called PS 156. I went to that school.
Wow.
The Rucker Park was my playground when I came out for recess.
Wow.
So imagine me being amongst all that in my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some great sights.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. And one more thing, as far as like anything else outside of like moving forward outside of DJing, is there anything else that we could like, you know, expect to like see you doing or wanting to be into, you know?
There's something that I have in mind to do. I was doing it from before. I pulled back, but I'm looking forward to get back into it again in a different way. See, when I was coming along, like in the 90, I say around 90, 91 on up to like early 2000, I was going around to all the different schools, which was public schools, junior high schools, rehabilitation centers, jail facilities, talking to everybody, you know, encouraging. I was spending time doing that for a while until, you know, I pulled back because at that time I had wound up going down south, staying down in Atlanta. I still have my home down there. And I came back up to reapply what I'm involved with, never left it, but, you know, physically back up here. People never knew that even though when I went down to Atlanta, I was still on the radio. I was doing like how we on right now. I was doing live broadcasts from the basement in my studio in Atlanta.
Wow.
Nice.
So, you know, just like, you know, how you always hear for years and years that there was always a live broadcast at a club that you hear the music. I had that hookup, I had that system in my house that you can hear me live. But you think I'm in the studio.
They used to do that in New York. They used to do that in the Copa, right? They used to do that.
Yeah, in the Copa at the place I used to play at called the Shadow. I mean, quite a few places. So I was down there. So when I came back up there, you know, it's a different chain command. So that's when I left from talking. So I want to get more back into the thing of speaking to, you know, to the youth as well
mentorship.
As that mentorship, you know. I'm putting together, I'm getting incorporated, which is going to be called Uncle Red, because that's the title I have. I had that for a long time, you know. So I'm looking to do that. On a side note, what I also been doing, I don't know if you see this.
I see it in the background.
Okay, New York birthplace.
There's a T-shirt line that I've been having out for a while called Prop Master Retro.
Send me the link right now. I'll order 5 right now.
Yes.
And
Trace, you give me one.
it's catering to, you know, old school, and it's different variation of shirts. You know, so me and my man, who is my partner from down in Atlanta where everything is made at, we've been doing that for a little while.
Nice.
What I also do, I do it as like mentor / father on behalf of my son. My son is an artist. His name is
Mims.
Yeah, and Trace know him very well.
Right.
I'm a type of person that I fall back and let him become into his own.
Right.
I mean, daddy gonna be daddy, but here it is. I don't want nobody to accept him under the shadow of me. I want you to accept him under his behalf. Meanwhile, I'm in the back and I'm going to advise him all as much as I can. I know the game has changed, time has changed, everything changed, but there's still certain structures that I could advise him with what it take for him to carry on.
Right. Which shout out to G Mims. He has been a part of this show, I think, twice.
Okay.
And we did show him that respect on not, you know, mentioning you and saying that, you know, he's your son. We focused on him and his artistry. And I think if history is correct, I think I was one of the first DJs besides you, of course, that he gave his record to. I think he came to Slate one day and I played his record at Slate, I think.
Yeah.
So I was one of the
Yes.
first DJs to really have his first like single that he was putting out there, man. He's always been, and it had nothing to even do with you. I met him on a different note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like definitely a hardworking.
Yeah.
Young, I've seen him grow, and what he's doing right now is really, really dope. So salute to you on mentoring him and you know, putting him on the right path. You know?
Right. So, you know, that's what it is between, you know, being behind the scenes for him, having my T-shirt line, getting back into the mentorship, and being grandpa to my grandkids.
Right. That sounds like a full-time job right there. So,
and I got 7 grands.
Wow. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
All girls.
Oh,
what?
God bless you.
I'm getting the business.
Oh wow!
Prayers right now, man. I got 2 daughters. I'm sending you prayers right now, man.
What's the age range?
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it because I was raised by my grand, like I said earlier. So now it's my turn to see what it's like.
Right. What's the age range? Taz is asking. What's the age range?
Oh, the age range. The oldest got to be 17 now, on down to like 2.
Oh, so you got the full spectrum. You got
right.
And some of them call me grandpa, as the other ones call me papa.
Oh,
nice.
I mean, I like papa. I'm gonna tell you why. Because growing up under my grandparents, I used to call them mama and papa.
Right.
So it's a traditional name in the family. But I respect when I hear grandpa too.
Right. That's dope. That's real dope. I didn't even know you had 7 grandkids.
Yeah.
That's really dope, man. I gotta ask you this question. You know, as far as like your entire career goes, there has to be one thing that you have accomplished with your DJ career that you hold on to and you think about every day, and you just happy that you accomplished that and you was able to, you know, earn that stripe as far as like, you know, your DJ career. What's that one highlight of your DJ career that you can never forget that you've had throughout the time of being a DJ?
I think what is currently right now, the consistency of being on the radio. In October, it's going to be 37 years. And you know, when I look upon a couple of years ago, I was just doing my 35-year campaign, and now I'm 37. And you know, when I'm looking upon the length of time between all 4 radio stations I've been involved with, from Kiss FM to Hot 97, one time over at Power 105, and now on BLS. And then also other radio stations out of town, but I'm talking about New York City.
Right.
When you know, I see how I was able to, you know, touch a little bit of all 4 stations in the same market and still be embraced by everybody from different generations. Like I say, well, my peers call me Red, to the younger ones call me Uncle Red, but they have something in common because they all spend time, can have dialect about me. You know, where it's funny, I hear some of my friends who say, where the younger ones who say, Uncle Red, he like, what you know about Uncle Red, you know? But you know, it's fun and it's loving. So that's what I think I really cherish the most.
Wow, man.
That's what's up.
That's such a great accomplishment, and it's crazy.
Congratulations.
I remember that 35-year tour you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
What you doing?
Your longevity is impeccable.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
and you know, I mean, I enjoyed Trace. I enjoyed when I was doing that 35-year campaign, because what I was doing, I was pitching in on social media, giving you a spoon feed of all the different moments of my 35 years in radio. I know it led to so many people saying, yo, man, write a book. I said, I'm not giving you my life story. I'm just giving you my history of radio along the way.
Right.
So that is coming, but it's just, I wanted to enjoy that 35. That's what it was.
yeah,
It was like saying, you know, you go into the store, you got a quarter and you got a dime. Let's see what I could buy.
Right. I mean, me as far as a DJ, and I know pretty much Epidemic is the same. That's one thing that I'm working towards, is to have the same longevity that you've had in your DJ career, man. That's what I want for my career.
That's one hell of an accomplishment.
Or it's to have that longevity, man. I don't want anything else. I don't care about the fame or the money. I want that longevity, man.
And I'm gonna tell you, for you as well as my man Epidemic, you know, the results always shows according to how much you put in and how much you perfect whatever you're doing. Because deep down inside, I had the same passion where, you know, I got in because it's become a hobby, you know. And then when I saw that I was able to collect and make a little business, and make it know as, you know, a hustle, and then turn out to be a career, but you still stay passionate about it.
Right.
And when you still stay passionate about it and people feel your passion and go ahead and support what you do or present what you've been doing, that's the reflection.
Has there ever been a time where you lost that passion for whatever reason, whatever was happening?
I think I went through my crossroad when I went down to Atlanta. Because when I went down to Atlanta, I pulled myself away from the scene up here. Now, mind you, I had traveled everywhere at one point in time, traveled different places DJing. But now I'm making a stay-in location in a new place. So now I'm getting to learn the lifestyle of Atlanta, which I do adore. But that was starting to become more of the rise of the dirty South, getting more potent. The trap music was coming around.
Right.
The attitudes was coming around. The whole lifestyle. And I'm like, seeing where I can fit in with it. And I'm like, yeah. And I started looking at myself saying, damn, it's not the same.
Right.
I don't feel the passion according to what's being created around me.
Right.
And then, you know, what was a good thing on my behalf, because like I said, I was still on the radio from down there, broadcasting up here, while me saying, you know what, bring my butt back home to keep up the par of what's going on. And I'm glad I made that choice. Now I got my home down there, and I love my home. But I have to go to a quarter where I see that bring me back that hunger to what I love to do.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, I can agree that the state of music definitely changed everything. So if you were used to a sound back then, it drastically changed. I know I even lost the passion for what was on the radio for a
Well,
while.
one thing I always learned to tend to do, like I say, I know once the sounds of the dirty South and the trap music come in, mind you, I liked it a great deal of it, a good amount of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick and choose what sound. Remember what I said? When you get on, you gotta pick and choose what sound right for you. What I did
Right.
out of that sound at that time, I was picking and choosing what sound right for me.
Right.
Because if I'm playing for a full spectrum of some of the younger and the older, I want to make sure I'm touching a little bit of everything back and forth.
Right.
I remember I just had a chat with somebody a couple weeks ago, and they was asking me a comparison. What is it that you do in a club? And I was telling them, I say, listen here. I remember the time when Lil DeVille came out with that record with Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
Living My Best Life, good party record.
Mm-hmm.
If I could play Living My Best Life, but later on in the evening I could play some Rakim, I'm catering to a little bit of everybody.
Right.
They could adapt. You gotta learn,
Right.
and that's the programming. Being as a DJ, learn how to program your set to please everybody.
Right. That's a good strategy.
Uh-huh.
This is why you the best. See?
Well, listen here, it's all about practice. You can't take it for granted.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't understand that, you know. And there's a lot of people I know that became the best of what they do, but they ain't stay on top of their game and they let everything slip through, right through it,
Right. Press, what's up, man? Got another question for Cool DJ Red Alert?
Staying on this right here, I was about to ask, like, do you mind hearing all of that trap music and all this new drill music in your headphones? And while do you play these music, these new kids and this new stuff?
Like I just said, I pick and choose what sound right for me. If it's some of them I like, I will play it.
Okay.
You know? What's the name of that record? Oh man, just like I'm thinking of that T.I. record. I used to love playing it. And at that time, remember the early T.I. records, some of them was hard, but then some of them had like a good hook with it,
Yeah.
Man.
Started changing his sound.
Man, there was a couple.
All right, okay.
Swing your rag.
Swing your rag.
Swing your rag. And remember,
bring them out.
That slow one that was on the movie.
Whatever.
What you know about that? What you know about?
Okay.
That.
And then like remember this record that I used to like, that dance record that was down in Atlanta. Walk it out. It's
okay.
I like that. It's young whatchamacallit, it's going down. It's going.
That was when Snap Music was popular.
Yeah, Snap Music. I like so like I pick and choose what I see I can fit in my program.
Right. Okay.
But what I was also able to give them while I was down in Atlanta, some of the touch of the stuff we were still up top.
Right.
They always call New York up top. That's what they call it. And I remember giving them the early days of Will Tracks, or a couple of other songs that was New York based at the time,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you like
that great dynamic.
Touch in and out.
Right.
I've heard Red Alert play new joints and everything. I've heard Red Alert go in on all types of genres, man. I've been there a lot of times, man. For real, man.
Listen, I listened to you do like a 4 to 6 hour set on Thanksgiving, and we was late because we didn't want to leave. Like whatever was playing, the next song, and we just didn't go to
Red Alert probably the reason why I was drinking a lot of champagne at them parties.
They got the belly going on. But it's like your desire to enjoy what you believe in. That's the whole idea.
Right.
That's what it is. I know there've been many a times where my peers would be like, "Oh, you playing all that?" Listen here, I can't follow suit with you because you turn again. All is not bad.
Right.
all of it's not bad. All of it's not good. Because
Yeah.
even during my present time, in my prime time DJing on the radio as well in the clubs, all them records was not good either.
Right.
Right.
I had to, like I say, pick and choose what's set and fit right for me what I'm doing.
Right.
So no matter, you can go to all different styles of hip hop. There's always gonna be something.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, man,
You're absolutely right.
we definitely understand, and you know, it's been an honor to have you on this platform. I you know, we appreciate your precious time.
Yes. Thank you.
This got to be the one of the best shows we probably ever had on this platform, man.
Right.
I thank you so much for your time. I thank you so much for all the individual advice you have given me throughout the years of knowing you. This was something that was like, I don't know, man. I'm about to shed a tear over here, man. Like it. I just want to say thank you, Red.
You're welcome, man. No, I thank all y'all for allowing me to be on here to express myself for what is it that I have been doing up to what I'm doing now.
Right.
Right. Thank you, man. It's been an honor.
Definitely gonna have a care package sent to you with a couple drinks.
Yes.
You know, we definitely gonna go on that website. You got a website for the shirts, so we could go order some shirts.
Yes, it's called Red Alert, DJ Red Alert merch.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you the link.
We go. I'm gonna order some shirts. We go support your business, and you know, send me somewhere where I could send these drinks, or maybe I could bring them personally, or whatever the case is. You know. We definitely want to get you a care package to you. You know.
All right. So you're trying to get me laid out, okay?
No. It's gonna be late.
I mean, you know.
I mean, I could, but
drinks in the past. We done had a couple drinks in the past, Uncle
Red. I hear that, man. You know.
But we appreciate you. I'm sorry we running out of time.
Respect, man. Y'all go ahead and do your thing. I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you, man. We have the station has another show coming up right now.
Yes.
We want to show them respect on their time, you know.
Yes, indeed.
But again, man, it is always great to see you. Hopefully, when things get better outside in the world, we get to see each other again. I get to see you, man. You know what I'm saying?
And respect to everybody out there, so whatever they're going through, whatever loss they had, and listen here, keep continuing on, because I'd love to see that all nationalities have joined together, because we are fed up and tired of what's going on. Let's look at a better situation. As I got grandkids, some of y'all may have children. You know, we want to see it better for our future.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Thank you.
I
Thank you so much. God bless.
Salute.
All right, man. Have a great night. Salute to your family. Say what's up to your son for me. Enjoy your grandkids and keep doing it out there, man.
And we keep rocking all day. Respect.
Right. We're live on the Fix Show, DTFradio.com. You know what it is, man. We're going to finish off this segment with a quick mix from DJ Epidemic. Man, it was so great having Red Alert on the show, man. I know it's a little difficult asking questions, because, you know, you want to ask the right questions to a man like that who has experienced so much in this industry. But y'all did a great job with it. Let's just end this off, you know, with a quick mix from DJ Epidemic. Shout out to Brega. We're sending prayers to Brega, who was involved in a car accident yesterday. He is man down right now.
Oh my God.
We could talk about that on the side after the show, but I just wanted to give him a shout out on air. Shout out to Brega. He's gonna be down for a couple weeks, man. He is okay. He's okay as far as like not super crazy, but he is hurt.
Yeah.
But you know, so please, you know, let's reach out to him, show him a little love or whatever the case is.
Definitely.
You know, he is, you know, dealing with some physical, you know, pain, but you know, that able to get out of that situation alive. You know what I'm saying? So salute and prayers go out to Brega. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it, Epidemic. Let's end off with a quick mix, man.
DJ Epidemic.
Okay, DJ Epidemic, I hear you. Hold on. Ooh.
Get up, clap your hands. Come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and get up, clap your hands and come on and
This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and make sure it's broke. When I'm gone, no one gets on, cause I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene I set. I like to stand in the crowd and watch the people wonder, damn. But think about it, then you understand. I'm just an addict, addicted to music. Maybe it's a habit, I gotta use it. Even if it's jazz or the quiet storm, I hook a beat up, convert it into hip-hop form. Write a rhyme and graffiti in every show you see me in. Deep concentration, cause I'm no comedian. Jake is a wild, if you wanna retain. I treat you like a child, then you're gonna be named.
Make a clap to this.
To show our appreciation for your support.
Make a clap to this.
Thank you, DJs.
Make a clap to this. Make a clap to this. Make a clap to this. Make a clap to this.
Sharp rock jumps upon the scene with the lean and a pocket full of green. The green doesn't symbolize I made it on the top, but RoboCop last year was a shock. The tone of the Popeye cut shook your butt. Kids are screaming, the media says what? Kind of music is this for you to dance to? The man with the plan and the band demands you. Leave the smack in the crack for the whack, for the ball and the knock, keep a smile like that. Leave the knife and the gun in the store and ignore temptation sent by the nation.
Yelling a bum, I take the cake, but you can't get a crumb from the poetic, authentic, superior, ultimate, and all that good shit. I'm the original Asiatic, acrobatic, there you have it. Now get dramatic, creating drama when I'm on the scene, and I pack a mean like Bruce Springsteen. Back reacting, sound the man, move you in. So long as you groove to this, I keep the crowd loud when you hype. Do damage on stage and into the mic. Back react, exact, the man, move you in. A strong song as long as you groove to this, I keep the crowd loud when you hype. Do that. React, exact, the Mac, I'll move you in. A strong song as long as you groove to this. React, exact, the Mac, I'll move you in. React, exact, or match, move you with that. React, exact, or match, move you with. React, exact, or match, move you with that. React, exact, react, exact, react, 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 exact, or match, move you with. A strong song as long as it groove to this. I keep the crowd loud when you hype. Do damage on stage and into the mic. As I shoot the gift and see stand stiff. While my rhyme stick to you like Skippy and Chip. Feel my blood fist on my death kiss. The rap solo with you don't want none of this. Supreme in this era, I reign with terror. When I grab the mic, believe you're gonna hear her. Fascinating rhyme, cause I enchant them. So let's all sing the Big Daddy anthem. Go with them, go with them.
When you say you love me, it doesn't matter. It goes into my head as just chit chatter. You may think it's egotistical or just very free, but what you say, I take none of it seriously. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you so. I'd let you pretend to read me, and then you'd know. Cause I hate when one attempts to analyze. In fact, I despise those who even try to look into my eyes to see what I am thinking. That dream is over.